Live. I'm Michelle Ferris, and I'm a psychotherapist in San Jose, California, and I help people have and create better relationships, because a lot of us, that's kind of the goal in life, is to really improve our relationship. So this is going to be about feel the fear and do it imperfectly. And the reason I picked this topic is because I have been afraid to do Facebook Live for over a year. So I'm going to use myself as an example, like a test case, and show you what I did and what steps I took. And I'm thinking it's going to help you too. Because fear is totally normal, right? Fear is normal, right? We all have it. But there's a great acronym from 12-step programs, and it stands for fear, and it's called false evidence appearing real. And what that means is that what we fear never really actually happens. Do you notice that? Like, if you're up all night worrying about something, is that really something that's going to happen in the long run? Because most of the time, we're just scaring ourselves into not taking action. So noticing what you're telling yourself is really key. Because often, again, the fear is of the unknown, what could happen, not what's really going to happen. And we're usually stuck in the future when we're in fear because we're worrying and we're not in the present. So the other thing is, hello, thanks for coming. I saw a heart. So for me, my fear was technology. I don't want to do this. I'm too afraid. What if I get it wrong? What if I get overexposed and be one of those people who are always nagging other people on video? I hate that. If you know me, you know that I'm not really one to be center of attention. So this was growth for me to come and do this, but I'm actually really glad I did. So part of what I had to do was look at my self-talk. What was I telling myself? Because self-talk, if you guys don't know what self-talk is, it's that internal dialogue inside your head that talks to you all the time. So it's kind of a nagging thought, and it could be positive and it could be negative. So when it's negative, it really impacts our mood, and it impacts our ability to live our life, to create happiness, all that stuff. So really, if you have thoughts like, I can't do this, everybody else can do this, I'm not good enough, people are going to get mad at me. You know, if you have that thought, then it makes sense why it's really hard to get over fear. So for me, I had to look at what were my thoughts. And you know, the technology thing, it was so funny because I thought, oh my God, what's the technology going to be like? What if my microphone doesn't work? What if my lighting doesn't work really well? Well, and hitting the button. For some reason, I had a lot of fear about hitting the button. So when I actually went to practice it, it was like 2 buttons. And I was like, oh my God, I've been afraid for nothing. And again, it was that false evidence appearing real. You know, I thought it was going to be this big thing to do Facebook Live, and it really wasn't. So noticing your self-talk is huge. So if you have something in your life right now that you really want to do but you're afraid of, what are you telling yourself about that? You know, what is your self-talk? Because if it isn't positive and encouraging, it's going to be difficult to do. For me, that's what got me in the way. But now the other thing I want to say is when we're in fear, sometimes we just have to honor that. We have to honor our resistance. So for me, I literally set probably 3 or 4 goals last year to do a Facebook. I even told somebody once, I'm going to do Facebook Live next week. I didn't do it. And I thought by the 4th commitment that I did last year, I finally realized I was not going to do it. And the turning point came when I realized it was okay. I didn't have to do it. I had to let myself off the hook, because sometimes when we're afraid, we just have to be okay with it. You know, maybe the timing isn't right. Maybe something's in the way. And that's really sometimes the best way to honor ourselves, is to just say, you know what? I just don't have it in me right now. And that's okay. So honoring the resistance, I think, can really be the turning point, because once I did that, I felt so much better. I thought, you know what? I don't have to do Facebook Live. Yay! But I gave myself permission to not do it. And it was so helpful. The other way to deal with resistance is do some writing about it. So you can write, what's in the way? You know, what is preventing me from doing what I know I need to do or what I want to do? Because I don't know about you guys, but I can't should myself into right action. Can you? I mean, do shoulds really work? I want to hear in the comments. Can you guys ever, like, what motivates you? You know, is it I should do it, or is it I'm willing to do it? Or you finally have the energy to do it? Because to me, that's the difference. We're gonna talk about the self-talk, we did that. I really want you to spend some time and look at what your self-talk is, because that is so important. The other thing I heard a long time ago, and it always stuck with me, is that we actually can't control our first thought. Did you know that? Because how many of us have random thoughts that are totally bizarre? And we think, oh my God, how did I just think that? Well, that's because we can't really control our first thought, but we can pay attention to it and catch the second one. And that's where we have the power. So if you've ever gone through your day and all of a sudden you're good, you're feeling good, and then all of a sudden you feel crappy, trace back what you were thinking. Because almost always it's a random thought that comes into your head that scares the bejesus out of you. And if you don't catch it, you run with it, and then your whole day turns into something that you don't want it to. So looking at our thoughts is really, really powerful when it comes to fear. Now, the next step with fear is taking baby steps. And I did this with Facebook Live, and what I did was, after I gave myself permission not to do it, which honestly was the turning point. That was the turning point for me, because once I let go of it and let it be okay, I could free up some energy, and then I got back to it later at a different time. But my baby step was, I thought, well, I could do videos, because I could do some short videos and redo them 10 times if I needed to in order for me to practice, because nobody was watching. So it was a perfect way for me to take a baby step. I did that, and one day I had my hair and makeup done for some pictures I was taking last November, and I thought, well, I'm made up, I may as well do some videos. So I actually stood and did 7 videos in an hour, which I had never done before. I don't do that. It takes me a while to do stuff. And I realized, oh my God, I'm getting ready to do Facebook Live, because I wasn't as afraid. And I could tell it was coming together for me. So that was a baby step for me to realize that, you know what, I can do the next thing. So January was coming. I thought it was a perfect time to try it out. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do a Facebook Live. And if I flop, I flop. Who cares? So the willingness to really do it imperfectly gives ourselves permissions to just be human. You know, I mean, that's just the way it is. We're not going to do it perfectly the first time. And I don't expect that of myself anymore. And I would really invite you, don't expect perfection the first time you do something. It's way too difficult. But if you let yourself say, hey, you know what? I'm going to try it. And I'm going to give myself credit for trying it. That's how you do something different. That's how you get over the fear, is to just let it be okay, honor your resistance, notice your self-talk, and take a baby step. And again, if your baby step is you don't want to take any action whatsoever, great. Write about why you don't want to. Because to me, that's the next step, is honoring that resistance, because there's something in that for you. I guarantee it. You just have to see what it is. I have no idea how long I've been on, but I feel like I'm done. Please leave a comment below. I will get back to all your comments, especially in the replay. Thank you so much for letting me do this. And you know, when I posted it, you guys were all so supportive. Doesn't have to be perfect, Cindy. Yes, I totally agree. And I think we all just need to embrace our perfections and say, you know what, give ourselves credit for actually doing it, because that's the growth. I'll also leave a link to subscribe to my newsletter if you like weekly tips. I give them every Tuesday, like clockwork. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great day, and I promise I will see you again. Bye. Oh, I'm so glad it was helpful. Thank you. Thanks, Lori. Yay! Yay, we can all do this. We can all face our fear together. Okay, bye.